The source material for this reaction video has been edited for pacing. Dead air and unrelated material have been removed, but clips remain chronological and in context, for edutainment purposes only. I think MoistCr1TiKaL was wrong when he titled this video useless. I found it very useful.
It's my hot body, I'll do what I want.
It's showtime.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be a pretty poisonous topic where the only winning move is not to play in regards to covering the H3 vs. iDubbbz lawsuit.
So you knew it was a bad idea and you did it anyways. We never stop that as we age, do we?
But sometimes you put your hand on the stove to see if it's still hot.
No, you don't. What? He isn't serious, is he?
And boy howdy is it ever.
Is he so popular because he's like the king of really bad takes?
Like I've always said, I treat this channel like a diary. I just blabber about things that I feel like talking on, just sitting in my chair, kicking my little 5'6" petite leggies around and just...
Oh, you guys, we can't be mad at him. He's a small bean. He's only 5'6". He's a little guy. We can't get mad at a little guy. That's not even little.
Given my thoughts from the old steel trap up here on it.
Yeah, but is it stainless steel?
So, when I heard about the H3 vs. iDubbbz defamation case, I wanted to take a peek into it, sink my teeth in there and see what's going on, because that is a pretty wild thing to learn about. And learn about it I did like a little scholar.
You said this is like your diary. Do people write these self-aggrandizing metaphors in their own diaries?
It was a new lawsuit.
I don't know, by now it's slightly used. I wouldn't pay full price.
It was only public knowledge for like 24 hours, so I did as much research on it as I could and watched the iDubbbz stream that is like the main catalyst of it. I watched the H3 stream where he explains his lawsuit, and I talked to both parties, iDubbbz and Ethan, to try and get the clearest, most complete picture of everything going on here.
You had done all those things in your first video. Are you making a second video without actually having revisited either of those conversations? Or any of those Reddit posts?
And then I just gave you my view on it from the old Floridian homunculus eyes.
So he swings between what is meant to be comedic over-exaggeration of his own self-estimation and a sort of comedic, self-deprecating, I'm a little guy. I'm a little creepy Florida guy. You shouldn't be listening to creepy Florida guy. It's your fault for listening to me. That's what he keeps doing.
And I think I've always made it abundantly clear, you're always welcome to disagree with me.
I don't need your permission, nor your welcome.
I've always kept that door wide open because I actually value differences of opinion.
That should be standard practice for people making criticisms on the internet.
I hate echo chambers. I spit on that.
Ew.
Constantly. I actively shut down the idea that you have to agree with everything I say or else I hate you. You're tacky and I hate you.
I think I'm being too hard on him. This isn't a matter of him exclaiming how permissive he is in his comments section. He's trying to get his audience to understand that you can disagree on things and still remain on friendly terms. He has to convince them of that because they don't believe it. We are fucked.
Throughout all my content, from the womb to the tomb,
I
have always welcomed discussion and people having a difference of opinion because, as I've always said, I think when you surround yourself with sycophants and you only lock yourself into one way of viewing things...
Use of the word sycophants would indicate he's talking about himself here and not his audience.
You do yourself a disservice. I think it is a bad thing to just be constantly locked in a bubble. Now, the reason I mention that is because I made the mistake, I committed the old sin of taking a peek at what the discussion was around this video on, like, Reddit and Twitter.
Oh my gosh, I am so surprised.
Which, something I haven't done in quite a few moons now.
I don't believe you.
I was expecting, like, actual discussion because I'm new to this topic and I wanted to see, okay, well, what are some things that I didn't know about? What can I learn about here and dive deeper on?
So you went to the same place Madison Harnish goes for her very intensive research?
And there was some very valid critiques and some information that I could get my hands on and learn more about.
Your lack of specificity as to the type of information leads me to yet again not believe you.
But boy howdy, there was a lot of hoopla
Is it this guy's fault that everybody talks like grandparents now?
that I couldn't have even imagined would be like a controversial thing.
Hoopla about a controversial thing. Yes, your specificity really, really invites confidence.
And there were people that were proudly stating they didn't watch the video.
Your video. Your first video. This video is about you being in your fifis because people criticized you in ways that you feel weren't credible. Holy crap, you're gonna love this video.
And then getting angry at things they assumed I might have said in it.
Has he forgotten how the internet works? Has he forgot? Is he okay?
Or attacking me for things that I never said that aren't in the video
Your video was boring.
because they didn't watch it. Or they're replying to someone who's just actually making shit up that they're pulling out of their ass that I never said.
That is frustrating. If people are going to disagree with you, it should be on your stupid statements, not the stupid statements others attribute to you.
So it just feels fucking useless to even engage in the topic in that case.
But you ignore your feelings, you touch the hot stove, and you have almost 28 more minutes of video where you complain about something you say is useless to complain about.
Like, it's so odd. Like, one that I didn't expect was,
Hiya, internet trolls. There's this thing that really bothers me when you do it, so let me give you specific examples so you can bother me all the time.
just me mentioning that I'm not online as much as I used to be was apparently like a highly debated topic.
The guy who's a
How dare you? We do not speak of Mac Frompier. Mac Frompier, he is disgusting. You're never gonna please any of these people. There are people you can't please any of the time because they make content out of it.
The gist of it is, when I was talking about the defamation lawsuit, I also mentioned that Ethan has other active lawsuits against other creators, and I called him the Nintendo of YouTubers because he's become extremely litigious.
Yes, you felt you were establishing important information. What is important to you is the existence of any lawsuit, not a specific type of lawsuit.
But I didn't dive into those other lawsuits because I didn't know much about them.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm sorry, no. The correct answer is the video wasn't about that.
And that claim is apparently extremely hard to believe because everyone thinks and assumes that I am terminally online like I used to be 2 or 3 years ago.
The everyone you're talking about are themselves stuck in arrested development. Of course, they don't see people's lives progressing and changing.
But when I said that's not the case, there are quite a few people that just don't believe me.
And there's nothing you can ever say about anything that will get them to change that. People hold very strongly onto beliefs, which is what this is that we're talking about. We're not talking about people who think they know something. We're talking about people who believe they are the right in a dichotomy, a two-sided issue. You're wrong, I'm right.
Unfathomable moment, so it must be a lie. So here's a streamer debunking by going through my channel and noticing I've posted a lot of videos on Lego, for example, because of the big Lego scandal.
Why did we have to watch the video if you're going to explain it? And no, I didn't watch the video. I skipped it. And look, he explains it. Didn't need to watch it. You didn't need to jump scare me with Mike Frompier.
Which I think is a very interesting example to use off the point he's making about me front-running every viral story.
Because he's a liar. He's a lying liar who lies. He's a famous member of a group of lying liars whose leader once said, lying is OP. And we said, no, lying is OPP. And we don't touch that because that's not cool, man.
Get out with OPP, yeah, you know me. Get out with OPP, yeah, you know me.
Because with the Reckless Bin versus Bricks and Minifigs Lego scandal,
You find it interesting, so you're talking about it.
I actually was getting called out for avoiding that and ignoring it because I was late to covering it.
And you shouldn't care. This is very unhealthy behavior.
Reckless Bin dropped part 1 on May 21st. and I heard about it from Stream Chat, and then a friend sent it to me as well, and I made my video covering it on May 26th, 5 days later.
Why are you trying to prove something that you already know is true? There are people who just won't believe you, and you need to accept that.
But in that interim, people were saying I was avoiding the topic.
Keyword, people.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
I just find it fascinating how, if I cover something quickly or extensively, like in the case of the Lego scandal, that's a problem. I'm just front-running shit to capitalize off the virality of it. But if I am late to covering something, well, that means that I was avoiding it, and I must have known about it the whole time and had ulterior motives to avoid the topic out of cowardice, and I only talk about it when pressed.
How don't you know they're stupid? How don't you know they're dumb?
Feels like a lose-lose.
That's why you don't touch a hot stove.
If I'm too quick to something or too interested in something, so I make a lot of content on it, well, then I'm just there to front run it and capitalize off it being popular.
That's why you don't feed the trolls, bro.
But if I'm too slow to it, well, it means I was actually avoiding it the whole time, and when I do cover it, well, it's only because people pressured me.
I thought you already knew this. How are you so stupid?
So, where's the Goldilocks zone?
There's none in internet discourse.
I can't be too quick to something or too interested in it, because that's frowned upon, but I also can't be too slow to it or not cover it at all, because then that must mean that I knew about it the whole time.
Rational thinking you can't force.
I'm damn near omniscient, I guess. I see everything, and thus, if I am slow to it or don't talk about it, then there was an ulterior motive and a deeper reason that's nefarious.
How don't you know that you need to avoid the source Reddit?
So where is the Goldilocks zone?
I already sung it. There is no Goldilocks zone.
I personally don't see why it's so hard to believe that, considering in a lot of the stories I cover, they have already been covered by others.
The more I watch you, the more I find you have in common with Cruel World Happy Mind.
The way I find out about a lot of the things I cover is through, like I said, friends sending it to me, or when I do stream, which isn't daily, I'm a semi-retired streamer, but when I do stream chat, putting things on my radar. And naturally, what people are probably going to be sending are the popular things, because that's what they've seen.
Popular is not the right word for that. God damn it, stop activating my Wayne Brady drive.
So that's usually what I get sent. But it's not all the time either. My channel has always just been things that I'm interested in at the time.
Then remain true to your channel and don't cave to trolls.
And yeah, there are a lot of stories I get sent that I do find interesting and do yap about, like the Lego scandal. But I really do miss a lot more these days than I did when I was very online all the time, like 2 or 3 years ago.
You keep referring to 2 or 3 years ago. What has changed for you since that time that leads you to be online less often? Maybe if your audience knew, they'd better understand.
I don't know, like, how else to prove it to you. I mean, I guess, like...
You're repeating yourself, so I guess I'll be repeating myself. You can't. So don't drive yourself crazy trying to.
You can look at my Twitter page and see that I have 2 tweets in like the last 2 years, or on Instagram I make like a post every month and a half, and a lot of them are just me hanging out with my farm animals.
Okay, I believe you.
Objective proof. Everybody should be relieved. Look, he's got better things to do. He has a farm. The only farm I have is in Stardew Valley.
Like, you can check my streaming history and see that I'm not an active streamer. Like, I'm an active streamer, but I'm not streaming with the same frequency I used to, and I'm not putting in really long hours.
He goes on to negate this, but I'm cutting that part because this is getting painful, like watching Jack Tripper try to get into a hammock.
We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's company too.
I don't really know how else to say it.
But you're gonna try because there's 22 more minutes of video left.
I just don't see everything that happens online, and I can't believe that's something that's apparently like a big issue or so unbelievable.
The people criticizing you are people who are never offline. They are so connected to the internet that they can't believe that a person is disconnected.
Like, in fact, it's embarrassing for me that people can't imagine that I'm not online all the time.
Yeesh, just cut a Mike Frompier jump scare.
Well, now you've gone way too far.
Of course he did. It's Mike Frompier. I don't have to watch the clip to know that he said something that was a stupid, outrageous lie.
How fucking dare you?
It's more fun this way.
I have been wearing white t-shirts, not dirty white t-shirts, by the way, pristine Gym Mint white t-shirts.
Not what I expected, but if it's Gym Mint, that means you haven't washed it since you wore it at the gym. Oh my God, are you like Ian? Are you Ian? Do you wear your gym clothes all the time?
Since high school.
At least we're using humor.
Since Asmongold was in diapers. It's like me saying that you have a MoistCr1TiKaL hair and beard combo.
Oh, he said you look like Asmongold, and that hurt your fifis. And also, obviously, it's stupid because of chronology, and you're pointing that out right now by pointing out to him that he's super old and you're younger than he is. Are you? I have no idea.
But anyway, now let's talk about the other lawsuits here, because that was a big point that people were very upset with, that I didn't extensively cover those as well when talking about the defamation lawsuit.
This is Cruel World Happy Mind apologizing to Bad Emma Panda. That's the level of shit I'm looking at here.
And since I didn't do so and people didn't believe that it was because I didn't know about it.
You knew enough to mention it in your previous video on the Klein v. Jomhal lawsuit, and you didn't know enough about that to even put it in a video, so I can see why people are a little annoyed.
They are accusing me of knowingly avoiding it or even silently championing for those lawsuits, which I find befuddling because
one of your constants has been a dislike of litigation between content creators?
Throughout my entire time on YouTube, the 18 or 19 years on YouTube, I think I have made it beyond crystal clear how much I dislike this litigious approach to online discourse.
That was one of my first conclusions watching your previous video. And if people don't believe you about this, then that is not a you problem, that's a them problem. And you need to take it out of your life and leave it to them.
And really just this excessive use of the legal system for strong arming or silencing. Like, I have made, I don't know how many videos covering cases even outside of like the internet scope of like, you know, sometimes the legal toilet paper flying back and forth, but like just in general.
With your description of legal toilet paper flying back and forth, I don't think you're the person to be doing analyses of these situations in the first place.
Like the willy-nilly lawsuits that fly around from like corporations attempting to bully people too. Like,
and yet you still know nothing about the law.
I don't know why anyone would think for a second that I would be avoiding talking about that or agreeing with it. Why would I?
When you say that and it, are you referring to the Klein copyright lawsuits or lawsuits in general?
I never have in the past, so why would I start now?
If you've been online for 18 years, there's a new generation who's never watched your old content.
You just don't like me, which is totally fine.
It's not. Fuck that. Do you think you're a good person? If you're a good person, people shouldn't just indiscriminately hate you. Nonsense.
I get it. Not everyone likes the old Florida peach, but you're just viewing it in bad faith and making that assumption.
Yes. And that's why all of this is pointless, except, well, I get to make a funny video, so thanks for that.
And it's incorrect. Because the truth is, and this shouldn't come as a shock to anyone, after learning more about those other lawsuits that Ethan is engaged in, like the fair use lawsuits and such, guess what? I don't agree with those either.
This is maybe the 4th or 5th video of yours that I've watched ever. And what you're saying is not a surprise to me. So it's not a communication issue.
Now, obviously, I don't know all the nitty-gritty around every single lawsuit. I've only just begun learning about all of these, but from everything I've seen from the lawsuits that he has actively going on, there's nothing in there that makes me think that this is like the right way of doing things, or that this is different from other times in the past where creators have sued each other over disputes.
I know. I believe you. Would you please stop hitting the desk?
Now, clearly I don't know all the nuance and intricacies of fair use law. Ethan would certainly know that better than I, and many others would. So maybe he has some strong cases here, and in one of the instances with one of these streamers, it did seem like they were just uninterrupted playing the video without even an attempt to transform it.
Don't sound so confident. I call shenanigans. You're talking about the one that's already been settled and fault was admitted.
So maybe that could be like a easy fair use win for Ethan.
That's all you see it as a single man's win over another content creator. You see everything as interpersonal interactions and beefs, don't you? Are you like a rock'em sock'em robot guy, or do you acknowledge that things can be more than two-sided and involve more than two individuals?
But I just don't think that's a win overall. Like, for as long as I've been on the internet, that kind of behavior has been frowned upon.
By whom? How many people agreed that it was frowned upon? I think you have a misconception of the greater world's understanding of the propriety of litigation when it comes to content creation.
And I really think if the targets were different, if it wasn't streamers that a lot of people don't like.
Doesn't Denims do well? Isn't Denims popular? I thought people liked Denims.
The response would be very different to these lawsuits. Right now, a lot of people celebrate them because they just hate the people that Ethan is suing.
And a lot of people are disagreeing with the lawsuits and saying, at the very least, it's overreach.
So they go yeehaw for it. But these individuals, like the streamers in particular for the fair use, they are a fraction of the size of Ethan's.
So it's inherently unfair, and giants don't get justice. Oh my god, are we already back into the woods?
That boy asked for shelter, then he stole our gold, our hen, and our harp, then he killed my husband! I must avenge the wrongdoing.
To me, a hard case to make that he was genuinely, like, losing eyeballs because of them streaming it on their Twitch channel. And yeah, that is like a big asshole thing for them to do, but let's be real, it's not hurting you, it's just you don't like them.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
And they don't like you, so this was a way of being able to get a big jab in there.
No, not everybody's still in high school. He may have other more complicated motivations.
And since a lot of the internet doesn't like them, they get to rally behind you as well, as opposed to start asking the question, why even bother?
The way you're talking, you're making it sound like the internet loves Ethan Klein, and that is not the case, Sky.
You already won, again, against that kind of behavior.
Because one case out of 3 was settled, do you think that counts and the other 2 should be a wash? Do you not know how anything works? Do you not know how the world works?
The internet, from what I can tell, this is kind of post-mortem now since I'm super late to it, but from what I can tell, no one was really on the side of the streamers that were just blatantly streaming it without any kind of transformation or anything like that.
Their GoFundMe's raised tens of thousands of dollars. That's not nobody supporting them. It's not as much support as I'm sure they would like, but that's not an absence of support by any means.
So you already won. What's the point in continuing this further, paying big bucks to the lawyer just so you could also financially hurt them to further, get them?
The financial part is part of the lawsuit. Those aren't separate things. It's not a further thing. They're intrinsically connected when it comes to civil lawsuits.
It seems like it's less about, fighting a just cause for fair use and more about like, here's some more ammunition.
You're implying that Ethan Klein is at war with the contingent of the internet.
The big one that I've spent the most time looking into is the Denims case because,
let's face it, she's the only hot one.
It's the most recent and...
Sure, Jan.
Does he still not know about the Noah Samson lawsuit?
Is being touted as a tentative loss for Ethan, which I don't know what a tentative loss really means because it's not an official loss. It's still an ongoing lawsuit here.
You're confused because what you're talking about doesn't exist. There's a tentative ruling on one of the 2 against Denims. The tentative ruling is in her favor, but it has to be made official in a court proceeding.
But the judge had like a very seemingly stern view on it, that even cited Ethan Klein's previous fair use victory against him in his suit against Denims.
Look, he's making believe like he actually read it himself and didn't just grab this screenshot off Reddit.
Ethan Klein, a while back, had a landmark achievement in the fight for fair use against good old bold guy Matt Haas, and that ruling was cited here.
Okay, I'm not being kind again. I am forgetting that his audience is probably very stupid and didn't read that either, so they need this explanation.
Against him in this fair use lawsuit. So to me,
It feels a bit ironic.
that illustrates that maybe these lawsuits aren't coming from a genuine place of trying to enforce real fair use and are potentially just coming from a place of revenge.
Yes, but you're basing that conclusion on the same source of information that made you crash out and feed the trolls just now. So I don't think you've got the right places for info, and I don't think you know what to do with the info you got.
Now, I don't know the intricacies of everyone that's being sued and their relationship to Ethan and the snark community. I don't know.
Next time, start with that and end shortly after.
But from everything I've seen in these lawsuits, I just don't agree with going this extremely litigious path. There are very few lawsuits in this space that I think make sense. And like I said yesterday, the one that does is him going after the snarking community that allegedly did send a fraudulent CPS check to his house.
You're missing a key piece of information, which is that Denims was working with snarkers to divert views of the content nuke to her site instead of Ethan's.
And human skulls, which apparently is taboo to even mention now for some reason. I got fucking dogpiled for bringing that up.
Dogpiled by snarky Redditors. I think you're looking in the wrong places for both your information and personal affirmation.
From everything I've seen, that did happen, right? Like, I didn't hallucinate that or anything.
You're suddenly surprised these people don't believe in objective reality? I already told you!
So, like, that's a pretty fucking big deal. That's a pretty traumatizing thing. That is psychopath behavior. So if the snarking community is responsible for that, then yeah, it makes sense to go that path because that is extremely unhinged. And that is something that should be pursued legally to stop that from ever happening again.
Yes, but remember, you were talking to people who denied that these things ever happened. So how can you bother trying to convince anybody who doesn't believe in objective reality?
But yeah, I honestly am very surprised how many people were so quick to jump to the conclusion that I was avoiding this and lying about not knowing about it.
I'm so silly, I forgot. This is all about you.
And secretly championing for those lawsuits and that kind of thing. It's so upsetting because good faith is something that's just gone.
Good faith died with AOL Instant Messenger.
It's completely flushed down the shitter.
And it's been like that the whole time you've been on the internet.
Anyone who would watch the video in good faith would be able to recognize, okay, maybe he is telling the truth and doesn't know about those lawsuits, which is why he hasn't included them there.
It's 2026. Donald Dipey Trump is president. And you expect that people are going to give you good faith? Who do you think you are?
I feel like that would be a normal thing to do, a courtesy to extend.
Courtesy is dead. You keep wiping your nose and spitting in front of me while other people burp into their microphones. There is no courtesy.
Considering I have always vocally advocated against this kind of extremely litigious path.
Hyperbole alert. Any litigious path to you is extreme, so I don't think that modifier was needed here.
In online discourse and online communities.
These cases aren't about discourse, they're about theft.
So why now is that no longer afforded the courtesy of, oh no, he definitely fell back on his principles. He doesn't believe in that anymore here.
Courtesy is dead, so is common sense. Everything is binary, and you're just fucking yourself with this video.
But I guess, to be honest, good faith is kind of viewed as weakness online. People are far more interested in scalp, far more interested in the spectacle and as much shit slinging as possible. So if it's trying to approach things with a level head, you kind of get attacked by everybody.
Yes, you've learned a lesson from your experience. Very good.
Because no one really wants that anymore. So, like yesterday, I feel like I did a very good faith look at everything.
Well, I'm glad you had faith, but you didn't have intelligence or information. The arguments you made were so bad. I stopped halfway through the video.
And I spent 3 hours going through, like, the essentials of what was going on, learning about it from the ground up.
Why are you emphasizing 3 hours? That's nothing. That's an iDub stream. Do you know how many of those I've had to sit through?
And once I did that, then I dove into watching iDubbbz's stream where the lawsuit spawned from.
Oh, you spent 3 hours on Reddit and Twitter specifically. Just Reddit and Twitter. because those are great places for unbiased sources of information.
I watched H3's stream, and I talked to them, and continued to look deeper into it across the span of most of that day.
Then why do you keep saying you spent 3 hours instead of, I spent most of my day looking into this, here are my sources, here's who I talked to?
And I approached it, I believe, in very good faith across the board.
Well, that's nice that you thought that, but you didn't approach it in good faith across the board because you have a bias against any litigation, which means that you can't approach it in good faith. Your faith is already tainted.
And in doing so, you will always earn that prestigious title of fence sitter.
But you've got a farm. I bet you wear Ariat boots and Stetson hats and sit on the fences and chew on straw while watching your animals frolic in the meadow. Oh, that's so sweet.
If you're not extreme on either side of the drama, you are fence sitting it.
I am so tempted to look at your Instagram right now for photos of you fence sitting.
Which I think it's a term that's really lost all its luster, because in that video,
Now I'm lost. Do you mean the term fence sitter no longer has a meaning?
I think it's a pretty strong stance. I don't agree with Ethan's defamation lawsuit.
No shit, Sherlock. Anyone who isn't addicted to Twitter or Reddit can see this.
And I spend 36 minutes yapping about all of my reasons
And apparently, you're shit at communication.
why. And boy howdy, I repeated myself multiple times. I watched it back and I literally made the same point like 3 times.
And you did a poor job each time.
By accident. Like I said, I do most of these in only a handful of takes, so sometimes I lose track of what I've already said.
Yeah, but you edit them. You very clearly edit these. So even if you're talking in stream of consciousness, you can at least take out the third repetition.
So I really did make it very clear what my stance is.
You made it very clear that your stance was against any litigation between content creators.
That this is not something that gets 2 big thumbs up from me. But because I also mentioned that iDub stream was a very poorly handled one that I think used a disgusting comment to try and illustrate his point in that it was a very painful stream to sit through. Because I mentioned that, people are accusing me of both sidesing it.
But it's an objective truth that Ian's streams suck. What I'm more concerned about is the fact that you keep referring to his point. What was the point? What was his point in putting that text from Destiny on his live stream for hours? What was the point?
You were shitting on iDubbbz for most of the video, actually, which I don't know how you walk away with that impression.
It's bullshit hyperbole. You need to be ignoring it.
iDubbbz himself will also tell you that that was a bad stream.
Yes, but will he also admit that all of the streams are bad?
And he is regretful of it. He has publicly come out, apologized for it, and said that that was bad and that it was too far.
His apology was insufficient. He neglected to explain the point he was trying to make, because I don't think he can without getting himself in more trouble legally.
Me giving my perspective that, yeah, it was pretty torturous to sit through is apparently, a big no-no.
Who is saying it's a big no-no? Is it people that you would normally talk to, listen to, respect?
Now, I'm going to go ahead and repeat myself again before getting into the next stuff I want to talk about, because, again, a lot of the drama from this isn't even about my take on it. It's about clips of my take on it.
Which is yet another reason you shouldn't be giving any of these opinions any credence. Clearwater Revival.
Without even giving why I think that.
Including presenting within context. There are so many better ways to say what you just said.
So I want it really front and center so that there can be no confusion why I disagree with this defamation lawsuit. So to do that, let's take it from the top.
No, I'm not subjecting you guys to it. It's pretty bad, it's pretty faulty logic, and it's pretty embarrassing for him. So let's move past it and get to the wrap up.
Now, at the end of the day,
There's another day dawning, and the sun in the morning is waiting to rise.
that's just one Cro-Magnon's perspective on it.
You don't even know you're a member of Pandorans, do you?
And it is completely fine to disagree with it. Even healthy. You know what's not healthy?
Ooh, I know. Using Reddit and Twitter as sources of information and personal affirmation. Did I get it? Did I get it right?
Is this trend where people don't even watch the video and only engage through select Twitter clips in order to get outraged at and form their whole opinion around the video they didn't watch from.
Did you forget that the internet has become so tribalistic that you absolutely have to not only turn everything into a dichotomy, but you have to only present one side of the information to give another person the opportunity to get angry about something? They do it for fun now.
Now, I don't want to just dive into some unhinged takes, but this one actually tilted me, and for some reason, I saw this quite a bit.
The reason you saw it quite a bit is because we're talking about bad actors who want to start trouble, who want to fight and rage bait on Twitter, because that's what people do on Twitter. So you know what I'd suggest? Get off Twitter.
He spoke with Ethan Klein, but not iDubbbz. Pathetic. Like Maximilian Pegasus here. Pathetic Yugi.
Don't try to disguise your hurt feelings with nerd cred. This hurt your feelings, and if you want it to stop, don't go there. It's not a safe space.
If only they watched the video.
Don't get self-righteous. You're operating under another misconception, which is that they have interest in watching the video in the first place. They don't. They just want to have and express an opinion.
Because I didn't just speak to Ethan Klein.
Hey, I don't deserve the attitude. I watched half your video. I know you spoke with both parties.
I also spoke with iDubbbz.
And even when the people traveling in the sewer destroyed subways, that is Twitter, get to a platform and get the news that, oh, you talked to both of them, not just one of them, they're not going to care anymore at that point. They'll have moved on to something else.
And it's right there. In the very beginning of the video, like it's early in the video. I mean, what can you do? I did say I talked with both of them about it.
You're starting to make me sad again.
And yet people are still saying I only heard one side of the story. I mean, really, what can you do?
Make a 30-minute video that complains that people don't actually listen to the words that come out of your mouth instead of believing what other people say about you, but the people you're complaining about aren't even your audience. They're creeps on Twitter and Reddit.
Like, actually, what can you do? It's just...
Make sure the trolls know that they really hurt your feelings, so they've got the best attack position the next time you go searching for valid information on social media.
It's incorrect, but you're making whole arguments around this dream you had that didn't actually happen.
Yes, but dreams are an individual issue, and we're talking about a collective.
We are bored.
Because you didn't watch the video. You just already had a preconceived image of me that you want to ensure stays intact so that way you can continue to not like me.
By George, he's got it. By George, he's got it.
And that's fine. You can not like me. You know, not everyone likes the fun-sized Florida man over here.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. You're getting ableist here. Man, I'm barely 11 and a half inches.
That's completely fine. Absolutely.
But it's not. That's a lie. If you think that someone dislikes you because of a misconception, that's undeserved, and you need to tell everybody, no, I'm the good guy, I swear!
But can you at least be right about something that you're not liking me for? Just watch the video first.
They don't have an interest in your video. They've never had an interest in your video. They care about what has been put in front of them by their algorithm, and they can't watch anything over 30 seconds anyway, so there's no way any of this is going to get through to them.
I just realized I have been yapping for almost 30 minutes, and I already know without...
Lies. You've been talking a lot longer, and you've cut some of it.
Even a semblance, not even an iota of doubt, that almost nobody is watching to this point. They've already formed their opinion even before clicking the video.
Now that hurts my fifis. I came into this video expecting to be just as pissed off and irritated as I was with your first video, when this has been much more entertaining, and I appreciate that. Thanks, guy.
Or within the first couple of minutes to start fighting on different points. There's no reason to keep going down there. Like, it does feel useless.
I think you found your title.
To even, engage with a lot of online discourse.
May I suggest disengaging from negative sources of online discourse? Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
It does just feel useless because it doesn't even matter what the take is. People don't even really care about the take per se. It's just they already have an opinion of you, and no matter what, it's not changing.
But I believe in a greater future for us. Is that where you're going with this?
Not very productive. Anyway, though, just wanted to yap. That's about it. So, yeah.
He edits, but he doesn't do an opener or a closer because he's just too cool to care. Nah, I'm being mean. People know who he is. He doesn't need them. All right, it's not my fault. He's the one who initiated the WB drive. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. That's all. I won't do anymore. And comment below. Was there any point to this useless video? I say yes. I got to make this video. See you next time.